So I didn't take it. Sanjay Singh, now he's in Alansari. I know him.
Hi. It's
live. I'll send you the link now. For
You're recording, na?
So this is the link.
Now just share this with people.
It's live. It's live now. Finished.
Okay.
तो अपना लाइव से तो खाली छे
म्यूट कर दे.
जय हो ते चल चलवाड़ी नहीं. Let it go, no.
we'll ask
That you're gonna. Yeah, there you go. So, wherever you are, I'll just point it and then. Are you gonna move around or what?
मेरा cousin नु नाम भी जरे से काका ने लिखो भी जरे नहीं आयो लिंक आई थिंक तरंग आवाज आया तो मैं लगवा आ गया
SMS not
अच्छा
WhatsApp.
SMS में कर रहे हो
क्या बोलता है? बोल यार.
मेरा हनी है ना
Yes, I think so. I don't
you
ask.
have to pay 100 dirhams for the membership. Actually, bari jati.
But,
But every time I was calling it. You know Firoz Bandrewala, no?
yes, very well.
Gosh, yeah, AB.
Gujri guy.
Huh? What rubbish? Firoz Bandrewala.
One from Bombay, working in Bombay, no?
No, yeah. He does that warehousing storage.
Yes, sir. No, yeah. God bless him. He's here.
Oh, just your thing.
No, there's another where we kind of meet and connect, and so it's easy to.
And you live somewhere here?
Yeah, Jumeirah one down the road.
Oh, okay. I recently
So it's a
moved to
good-
Barsha.
Good,
I think I'm now with the living.
just to click and see.
Paste it on my.
Hello.
Nothing Nothing open therefore. It came to Safari now. Try nothing. Mara pe to nothing khul. It's not opening on my phone. Do you know how many recipients go by the number of recipients? That will also put. चलो. तो पहले नहीं एंटर किया यहाँ जाए मानो especially people also, no? You also need to write your experiences.
Okay, smile y'all on camera now. We got live streaming going on. So you're having that side of the screen.
Smile kariye.
I don't know why it is not locking. It's just asking to reconnect. It is not locking. It's just asking to reconnect. I have to ask Kareem, but I'll have to. Somebody has to stand here and try to keep watching it. That means it shouldn't go locked because.
To make them wait.
If you want, you can start now.
No, 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah, because I just think it takes an effort to be on time, and for the ones who come on time, they shouldn't be kept waiting. Check in. Huh?
What about us?
That is.
Get offered a drink. You should have said yes.
You did offer her.
No. Since he's recording, Mike will have a better sound if you want to use the mic. Kanya.
Hello?
Hello. See? It sounds much better. Especially when you're using live stream, my sounds more professional. Sir, photo nahi bheja kuch time mukha
So,
जी लास्ट में आपने ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ your chapter
Mumbai here, and we've been members since 18 years. I don't know why they're saying no. Because they're serving.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
hijacking your
Good evening, everyone.
the tripod. Is that all right?
No problem.
I'll be the media.
Okay, switch it off. Switch it off, it's okay.
A lot of you will be familiar with Firozi. She's quite a vibrant member of our community. But for formality's sake, I'll introduce her anyway.
After you and me,
After you, yes, yes.
Firozi is the founder and CEO.
After you, yes, yes.
Firozi is the founder and CEO of that we would like to be associated with as well. Firozi, please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so thank you all. Of course, always a pleasure to be here. Everything that I will talk about is not about me, it's about you. So he was very kind to introduce me. I am a keynote speaker, right? So we are going to cover a couple of topics today, and we'll end it with maybe a group photograph. So what we're going to do today is, of course, if you look at the entire process of branding, there are 7 strategies to it. And in the interest of time, because there are 7 strategies to it. And in the interest of time, because we have. So whether you're an entrepreneur, if you're working, if you're an employee, whether you're an impact. Now, when you talk about branding, it's just one part of it, of what people perceive you as, right? But everything you do, everything you say, when you network, when you connect with people, when you communicate with people, you tend to inspire and impact people around you, right? So what is that impact that you want to create? And how do you create that? Nobody knew me, and in fact, I had 2 LinkedIn accounts, and I had 0 connections on one LinkedIn account and 5 connections on the second one, right? So it was a massive struggle for me to build my brand and to get the kind of business and get the kind of network and connect with the right to get the kind of business and get the kind of network and connect with the right kinds of people that are really nice. So that's really important. And the last thing is obviously really nice. So that's really important. And the last thing is obviously things that stop us from doing what we are good at, right? Because it's something called the conditioning. So all our lives we are conditioned by our parents who really love us very much, then our spouses who also love us too much, and so they create a frame around us. It's very dangerous. And if you look at it in the real world, that's the only thing that you do, right? For example, if you go for a job interview, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're pitching for your business, what are you doing? You don't know the person opposite you. He's a stranger. And you're supposed to sit and you're supposed to tell him everything about your life, your experiences, because if you don't talk about yourself, nobody knows who you are. But there's a way to do it, right? And when you do it subtly, and I'll teach you the formula and the technique for it, the other person will want to know more, and you'll really enjoy talking about yourself, right? So that's again another change of mindset where, we always told, stop talking that. Can we quickly form 3 teams? So 3 teams with 4 people each. Come on, I need you to get up because this is after lunch, and the last thing I want is people falling asleep. So let's form 3 groups of 4 people each.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Make it
never came.
Firuzi,
Huh?
you want us to choose from the 4 categories?
Yeah, any one which is your biggest challenge and why?
Can you go back?
Yeah, so finding your dream job, discovering your identity, differentiating yourself from the others, complicated to impress, so you all probably want to impress people around you and you're not able to do that, and very crowded place, and you're looking for a better job opportunity, right? These are the real challenges of real world, right? For everybody. How do you stand out? How do you impress others? How do you differentiate yourself? How do you create your identity? So if you want to do it individually, I'm fine. If you want to do it as a group, I'm fine. I'm just conscious that not everybody will have an individual objective.
एक chair. कौन जाना है?
You look very young. He's still studying.
Hmm?
Oh my God, okay, you're still sure. You don't look so old. Ready to work. And you?
I am in JR Management.
Nice. What are you doing?
I can't.
All the best to both of you. All right. So
नहीं
that.
नहीं तू लॉक कर सकता मुझे
Can I just very quickly go down each group and ask
Put
what has been the challenges that they will identify and why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
How do you stand out?
I put it on my Facebook also.
Okay.
Put it on your socials.
And why is that a challenge?
एक chair, I'm done.
Because there are diamond dozen people
So that means not showing the real.
we need to go about them.
हाँ सर रावल है.
It needs too long in the market.
तो check.
Now we have to find our own value. It's a little difficult to deny.
Okay, good.
We are a fresh graduate, we are vibrant, active,
True.
arrogant.
True. Okay. The Steve?
Something on the same lines, like how well you're able to sell ourselves to the other party and the right source.
Okay. All right. What about you guys?
We're going individually.
No problem. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I personally said competitive job market because I'm currently looking for jobs. So
Right.
yeah, it's great. But just
So this is very important. This session is really important for you. Okay.
To stand out because I'm a secretary with Emirates Airline, executive secretary. There are a dime a dozen SVPs and a dime a dozen secretaries.
Okay.
How do you stand out and what you do better
Right.
is always a challenge.
Excellent. Okay.
No, for me it is, private banks have a lot of rotation.
Hmm.
So continuity is important.
Okay.
So how you find stability and continuity.
All right.
And balance it. Yeah.
Balance. Okay. What about you?
So again, similar to what Mr. Vanjawala said, stand out in the crowd, how different you can be.
All right. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit about those techniques. So all of your questions should be answered. What about you guys?
Same
We are
thing, just stand
introducing
out.
him, he will.
Just stand out in the stand out in the field. A lot of competitors in this field here in Dubai.
Right.
And right now I'm too new. I just started in Jan. So
Right.
there's a lot of marketing and a brand to be built right now.
Correct.
So it's just working out on that.
Okay, excellent. All right, so pretty much all of you are there. What I wanted to understand is why this branding is important in standing out. Most people struggle to stand out is because there are two sides to each coin, as we all know. Let me ask you, is this a 6 or a 9?
69.
No, 69. Is it a 6 or a 9?
Depends the side from which you are seeing it.
Depends from where you see, right? If you stand on one side, so you might be looking at yourself as a 9, but the person who's looking at you probably sees you as a 6, right? So there's a clear disconnect. How do you go from a 6 to a 9 and how do you get that person to see you as a 9 is really important, okay? So let me ask you, what do you see here? What do you see here? You can see both? Okay, who can see an old woman? Who can see a young woman? You can, okay, raise your hands for the ones who see the young one.
I could only see a young one.
Young one, okay. Who cannot see the young one? Who can see only the old one? Okay, you can't see the old woman. Can anyone show or how can you? So, okay, follow my hand. Yeah? Okay. So this is about reality and perception, right? A lot of us feel that we look like this beautiful, young, vibrant woman, when the world is actually seeing you as a very old, haggard, finished, a woman who has finished with life, right? And this is all about branding, right? You don't want to be seen as this. Everybody can see the old woman now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh my God, it took me hard to see her.
Yeah. Everybody can see the young woman?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Actually, the old young Parsi.
Yeah, all of you have seen the young woman and we saw the old woman.
All people will see the old woman, young people will see the young woman. Okay.
No, it's always the reverse.
Okay, what do you see here? Let me ask you, what do you see here?
The horse and a frog.
Ah, excellent. Who can see both horse and a
I
frog?
can see the frog or
Frog. Who can see the horse over here? Horse is the difficult one to find. Frog, everybody can see. Who can see the horse here? You can see the horse? Can you guys see the horse? Frog, you can see. Anybody can see the horse? Why don't you come and draw the horse out and show them where the horse is? Come. Just with your finger. Show them how to look at the horse.
The horse is facing that way, so it's the head,
Oh, yeah.
that's the nose,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
eyes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the horse is facing upwards. This is the hair on the head of the horse. This is the head. And if you see, this is the head, this is the mouth, and this is the eye. Okay? So there is a horse which is facing upwards.
Eyes of the frog are the nose of the
Yes, eyes of the frog is the nose of the horse.
Yeah.
Okay? So, illusion. This is what branding is all about, right? Often what happens is when somebody sees you, you don't know what they're looking at. You probably think you are this beautiful horse, right? While the other person sees you as an ugly frog. I'm just saying it because it's just the way people see you, okay? So what I want you to understand is how you see yourself versus how others see you is your personal brand, like I just explained to you, okay? Now, very quickly, why today and why right now is the best time to build your brand? Because obviously it's a brand new world. As a brand you, not brand new world, right? If you're not branding you, somebody else is branding you. So it's really, really important. Being good enough is not enough, right? Success, if you do this, obviously you are entitled to a lot of success. I don't know what success looks like to you, but generally as per our mindset, the way we are brought up, get married, grow up, go to a good school, go to a good university, get married, get a good job, get children, that's the definition of success, already defined for us, right? Something goes out of the equation, you can't find a good job, suddenly the definition of success is out of the window. Your marriage falls apart, suddenly the definition of success is out of the window. You can't have children. You don't get married.
That is the biggest success.
Yeah. Success for us, but not for others. So, a lot of times what happens is we try to fit into the definition of success that has been defined for us by everybody around us, right? So I want you to break those barriers and I want you to define what sort of opportunities you'd be looking for. Okay, so I will talk about that later. Why most times people don't succeed is because there's only one reason, excuses, right? Most people, I don't have time, I don't have the money, or I don't have the inclination to work towards something, all right? I was just telling this gentleman, in 2018, when I lost my job in Standard Chartered, on that very same day, I turned 50 years old. And I had an 8-year-old son, my second marriage, so I had an 8-year-old son. And I remember telling my son that at 50, most people plan their retirement. I had to plan a whole new life because I had to bring my son up. Right? I'm 55 now, by the way. And that's when I realized the importance of branding. So what I do today, I do with a passion because it's really helped me. And as being an employee, being an entrepreneur, I think it will help all of you who are here. Okay? So, who's ready to take the next step?
Yes.
Who's ready to take the next step? Okay, let's say yes? Yes? Good. Okay, alright. So the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to discover yourself. So I'm going to help you how you discover yourself. How do you create an action plan? So what are you going to do about your branding? The third part is how are you going to communicate that in style? So even when you talk about yourself, people don't call you pompous and arrogant. And the last bit is how do you amplify your impact, right? To amplify your impact, like the first question I asked you, inspiring people around you is very important, right? Because the more people you inspire, the more you expand your impact on people around you, which is called your ecosystem. Okay, so self-promotion doesn't come easy. Most of us struggle. I promise you, if I ask you to tell me something about yourself, most people will say, my name is Firuzi, I've been in Dubai for 20 years, I've worked in Standard Chartered Bank, and you will be sitting and thinking, so what should I do? Because I'm so full of myself, I'm very busy talking about myself, right? So a lot of people struggle to talk about themselves and position themselves. I'm going to teach you a formula how you can do it with sophistication and finesse, okay? So that's what's going to make you very remarkable. Does anyone know the story of this pink elephant? Baby elephant story? Okay. Yeah, you know? Okay. You want to share? You want to share? Anyone?
It's like elephant knows that it can be broken, but doesn't know that it can actually do it.
Yes.
So standing in style, such a way that, you know.
Condition, mindset, right? So what happens is when elephants are trained, when they're babies, you know, there are these big pits and they fall into it, right? The herd can't take him out, so they abandon it and they move on. When he's captured, he's actually tied with chains. So at that time, when he's desperate to go break free and run away, he can't because he has chains tied. As he grows up, he's a huge animal and he can actually break free. But he will not, even if he's tied with a rope. You know why? Because it's a conditioning. All his life, he's been conditioned to think that this is my fate. This is my life. I have to be chained. If I try to break free, I can't do it because I tried before and I failed. Right? So the thing is, if you've done something before, you've tried something before, it doesn't work, doesn't mean it's not going to work. Yeah, it's the same thing when a child starts to walk and the child falls, you don't stop the child from walking for the rest of the night. No, he does something and get up and start walking again and fall again. Right? So I just wanted you to open your minds today and do something different, okay? So I want you to start answering this question. You can do it individually, don't do it as a group. One word for remarkable. What does the word remarkable mean to you guys? Just write it down for me and at the end you will present it to me. Write down one word for remarkable. Anything that comes to your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind.
I knew it would be an IT guy. Not a surveyor. Is something for the online boys?
I think this way, the bag is struggling to write. Can I please pick up this?
No, yeah, sure.
I said it was struggling to write. You just want to take this as a symbol. Are you sure? Alright, so write down the one word for remarkable. Something that makes you worthy of attention. What do you think makes you worthy of attention? Okay? I really want you to think, because this is something that will really help you in the outside world. Okay? Something that makes you worthy of attention. Right? So for me, what makes me worthy of attention is my passion to change lives. Right? Like my son always tells me that I'm a board director, I'm an owner of 3 companies, very successful companies. And my son always says, day after day, why do you still sit and train people? I do it on a daily basis. And I said that's my passion because I love changing lives. I love touching people's lives, right? So it's something I do. So that's what makes me worthy and that's what makes me remarkable. Not the way I speak, not the way I look, right? So I want you to understand something that what makes you remarkable and worthy of attention. You, right? Okay? Now, the next thing is, I really want you to understand this. All our lives, we've been told not to be different, right? If you make a noise in class, your teacher says, sit down, you're the most noisiest element. Right? I'll give you an example. When my son was little, he's very good in his spoken English. So every time the teacher would give a story, he'd tell a story and ask questions, he would put his hand up. So the first couple of times the teacher would give him the option to answer, then say, put your hand up. So you would come and say, every time I put my hand up, my teacher says, put your hand down. So I'm like, why? So the teacher said, because I have to give others an opportunity also, right? Now what has happened is 13 years, fast forward 13 years later, he doesn't speak at all. Because he believes that every time I talk, somebody says, shut up. Right? It's the mindset. He's trying to fit in. So what I want you to understand is, we are all conditioned to fit in when we were all born to stand out. Because we all have a special, remarkable characteristic that makes us who we are. Right? So I want you to write down 3 reasons why are you always trying to fit in. What are the 3 reasons that makes you fit into the crowd? Either at work, in your job, in your business, in your partnerships. Why do you always try to fit in? What are those top 1 or 2 or 3 reasons that you're always trying to fit in? Something that will stop you from shining, embarrass you from speaking, or somebody will tell you, stop boasting about yourself all the time, be quiet, try to be like people around you. You know, you hear this all the time, right? So write down 3 reasons what makes you fit in all the time. Why don't you want to stand up and be different? Why don't you want to shine? Why don't you want attention? And if you do, how does that make you feel? To add on to that, and I want you to do this activity with me throughout the session, okay? Write down your top 3 accomplishments to date, something that you think you're really proud of, your top 3 accomplishments, And they have to be accomplishments that make you unique, that makes you unique, make you or makes you unique, okay? I want you to nail down those 3 accomplishments for me. And I'll tell you why I'm making you do that, because I'm going to give you a snap, which is a super networking and accelerated course, which is your elevator pitch. But I can't make you do that unless you do this exercise, okay? So write that down. Write down your top 3 accomplishments to date, and those something that makes you unique. Don't look at the world around you, don't feel, oh, like for example, I say I'm an expert in learning and development. So there are so many trainers out there, so what? What I do in the training space makes me special, makes me different, right? So anything that you think makes you unique. Stop looking at the world outside, okay? You don't need to fit in. You need to stand out.
Something for the online guys, Rosie.
They should also do the same activities. So people online should also answer the same questions.
Okay.
Yeah, help them build the brand. Done? Everyone's done? Everyone's done? Okay. The next thing what I want you to do is I want you to write down this statement. I am remarkable because. Alright? And out of the 3, pick any one thing that you're confident that makes you unique. So I want you to write down the statement, I am remarkable because, and I want each one of you to come here and share that with people. You have to start now. If you don't do it now, later you will not do it. So I want each one to come and stand here and say, I am remarkable because, and you start now, becoming remarkable, okay? So all of you have to speak. I'm going to give the mic ready. Are you recording that?
Yes.
Good, okay. Let's get you coming up and let's get you comfortable talking to people first of all. Yeah, I'm standing up rather than sitting.
Who's first? What?
सुदर्शन बोलो नहीं ता पहले मिक्सर से दो
Who wants to start first? Okay, chal. Okay, no need to come here. You can just stand up from wherever you are and you can say, I'm remarkable because I want you to become comfortable saying that, okay? So, first to start.
Okay, I am remarkable because I like new challenges.
Okay, excellent. So he is obviously a problem solver, right? And he loves it because people come to him. He's a go-to person for problem solving.
Yes.
Let's give him a big hand. Follow.
You want 3 or only 1?
One is okay for now because we'll go around.
Okay, then let's go.
3 or 2, 3, we can't no problem.
I have many.
Acha. Okay, 1.
Okay. I feel I am remarkable because I got a very good technology proven approach. I got a very good analytical mind.
Good.
And problem solving is my forte.
Very good. Excellent. Next.
They
were all complimenting each other.
I'm remarkable because I'm amazing and I love being creative.
Very good. Let's give him a big hand. It takes guts to say I'm amazing, right? How many of us would have the guts to stand up and say I'm amazing? I really love that. Fantastic. Next, stand up. Let's showcase you.
Hi, good evening. Well, I think I'm remarkable because I'm charismatic, I am confident, and I am self-sufficient to a certain extent. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Next.
I'm remarkable because I am always very flexible with the changes.
Good. Which is a very good thing, right? Because the only constant in our lives today is change. And change is the one thing people don't like because it takes you out of comfort zone. So very good thing. Alright? What makes you remarkable?
So I'm remarkable because any challenges thrown to me, I try to solve every one.
Good. So you're also a problem solver like him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I can second that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
हमें कॉपी ना करिया करो प्लीज
I think I am remarkable because I have the confidence and the courage to achieve all my dreams.
Very good. I hope you have got all your dreams listed. Yeah? 20 dreams at least, yeah? 20. You need to have at least 20. Then you start ticking. 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 20 more.
I keep adding one more.
Good. You have a vision board? Very nice. Good, I like it. Okay, next.
I'm remarkable because I'm very helpful unconditionally.
Unconditionally. So you don't expect anyone to help you back.
You will.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
And also because you're in a, you carry the name Irani.
Yeah.
I know.
Always?
Look ahead.
Look ahead. Nice. Okay.
I'm remarkable because I'm a go-getter. I do not believe in giving up.
Excellent. Such good qualities in the room. Yes.
I'm remarkable because I like the thrill of challenge and I like to solve problems and come to solutions which people back up.
Very good. So very creative. Very good. Excellent. Yes.
I'm remarkable because I'm expanding in a very competitive market at a very young age.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay, next.
come on, Zubin.
My colleagues approached me to resolve the issues with
Okay.
using
Good.
my experience from the past.
And you're a marine engineer, that's why.
I don't know whether I'm remarkable.
We all are.
outside,
We are
outside,
remarkable.
right. नहीं ऊपर से right.
for sorting out their problems and whatever things I may be doing more, they come to me.
Good. So a lot of problem solvers like you, Firoz. Now Firoz says they don't copy me. You want to go? Last, say the best one.
I'm different from others.
Yes. What makes you different and unique? Good.
Give me a hug, give me a hug.
I just want to
Right.
Right now, right.
like that only.
Give water, give water, give water.
Good. Excellent. Good listening is a very good skill. Very good skill. Yes. Okay. Good. So once you've done that, sorry. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward now. Write down 3 things that make you uncomfortable in discussing your achievements. So I noticed, and sorry, I'm not picking on you, but I noticed she got up and she said, I think I'm remarkable. I think you said, somebody said, I think I'm remarkable, right? Get that think out of it. You know you're remarkable because of. So write down 3 things that make you uncomfortable about discussing either yourself or your achievements. Like, you feel that people will see you as arrogant, as pompous, as full of yourself. You think people not listen to you, because fear is very important, right? That's what stops you from being who you are and doing what you need to do, right? Like, I'll give you a simple example. I also teach a lot of public speaking, and most people say, oh, no, I can't do public speaking. Why not? I have a stage fright. And I tell them, there is nothing like a stage fright. Everybody can stand here and everybody can speak. I just proved it, right? If you have a stage fright, you have a fear that maybe I'll stand here and make a mistake. You have a fear, maybe I'll stand here and I forget something, I can't speak. You have a fear, maybe I'll say something wrong and somebody will laugh at me. There are so many different fears, and we classify all of them as, oh, I have a stage fright, I can't speak. Nothing. Stage is like this, you come here and you speak like you would speak to your friends, right? But there are hidden fears that stops us from doing what we want to do, alright? And stops us from being our best version of ourselves. So I want you to write down those 3 fears, or even if it's one top fear, whatever, 1, 2, 3, as many. Jot down those fears, what's stopping you from showcasing yourself, from talking about yourself, about your achievements, right? What stops you from talking about it? Is it the people? Is it you? Is it your mindset? You need to understand those areas, right? Because unless you don't know what the fears, you can't overcome it. So to overcome those fears, it's really important to nail those down. So go for it. Either 1 big fear, or 2 fears, 3 fears, whatever you want. Okay? No, there's no fear. At your age in life, maybe you are, but when I was younger, their age, I was always shy. And for me, the biggest fear was, because when I was young, I had a lot of pimples. And I remember my very first interview, job interview, I went at the age of 20 in Oman. I still remember there was an Amouage perfume, and there was a Lebanese guy called Diamond. And when I went for an interview, you know I was in Oman, right? Went for an interview, he looked at me and said, you want me to hire you with this face? Who do you think will buy perfume from you? And I remember that day I came and I cried and I told my then ex-husband, I said, I never want to work again. And he's like, why? And I said, nobody will ever hire me with this face. It's a fact. I had massive pimples. I think Firoz knows me from those days, right? So from there to where I am today, I speak on stage, I am a keynote speaker, and I teach people public speaking. It was a journey, right? But that fear had always been inside of me that because of my face, nobody will hire me. Because of my face, nobody want to listen to me. Nobody want to see me. So I always was in hiding. I never wanted to speak about myself. I never wanted to showcase myself, right? So it was that fear of, how I look that stopped me for many, many years, right? And we all have that fear.
How did you get motivated to overcome that?
Okay, so I pushed myself. I pushed myself and I said I'm going to do something
This is what I ask all the
different.
youngsters to do.
Yes.
If you give up, you give up.
You do more of what you don't want to do. That's why I asked you what makes you uncomfortable. Because if it makes you uncomfortable, you should do it. That's the only way to overcome that fear, right? Otherwise, you keep hiding in that shit. Okay? Alright. So one big thing, 2 fears, 3 fears, whatever. Done? Good. Alright. So the next thing is, I want you to understand what an impact. So I think we spoke about it earlier on, right? We spoke about influence in the beginning, right? Tell me now, how are you going to use that influence to impact people around you? So what kind of impact you want to make for people around you, right? And how are you going to make sure that you are making an impact? Because it's really, really important. And when you talk about making an impact, you're talking about the value you bring to others, right? So it's not about I just help others. You help others do what? Like I help others change lives, right? That's my passion. I really like to make that difference in people's lives. That's the impact I like to leave on, right? So I want you to nail down something really specific. Can you do that for me? 2 minutes. Because we're going to use all of that and then we're going to make your elevator pitch out. Okay? So unless you've gone through this process, you won't have your elevator pitch nailed down. So we spoke about influence earlier and now we're talking about impact. Everybody knows the difference between influence and impact? I'm assuming, yeah? Good. And these are questions you should answer, especially if you want to brand yourself in the corporate world, in social media, you're looking for promotions with your manager. These are things you should be able to answer, right? This is about discovering yourself. Because if you don't know how you're going to inspire people, how you're going to impact people, you really don't know what is your quality that's really you're being admired for, right? So discovering yourself is very, very important. Okay?
What do you want to do?
I want you to
Go
jot down,
down
how do you make an impact
There's a
with people
basin
around
right
you? Your
next door.
ecosystem.
Go out of that door.
How do you impact
Take a
people
right,
around you?
another door will be there. Take a right, there's a
And that
basin
doesn't
there.
necessarily mean helping them.
Doesn't necessarily, not at all. Not at all, not at all.
So are you trying to ask us how we want people to perceive us?
Yes. So what kind of so if I were to ask you, okay, let me put it the other way around. If I were to ask you, what is the legacy you want to build for yourself? Let's put it that way. What is the legacy you want to build for yourself? So please don't tell me $1 million in the account because that's not a legacy. So what do you want to be remembered as? Like I always tell my son, I said, my legacy, the one that I want to leave for my son, is I always want to be remembered by my son as his role model. Right? So the only legacy I always work towards building is being a role model for him. Everything I do, I always want him to be a role. So obviously, in my house, there's always a fight between my husband and me, right? Because my husband's a brand manager for Ferrari. So he's already out there, right? But I'm just a trainer. So you're a trainer. I said, no, I'm a trainer, but I've made a difference in people's lives. So my son always said, Dad, one day I want to drive a Ferrari like you. I want to pull a Ferrari like you. I said, so I always have that struggle of being his role model, right? Because by default, my husband is the role model for him. We don't drive, obviously, as being in cars. So that's my legacy, right? Just to be a role model for my son. So the reason I'm sharing my personal life is because I just wanted to, I want to share it as an example so you understand where I'm getting to, right? So you can answer that question. What legacy do you want to build and leave for yourself? Let's look at it that way. Because we all have families, we all have a life, we all have a future, right? We're all building a legacy of some sort. What is that? Okay. Why I make you do this is because in the real world, this is the real world, right? Best known beats best, right? I'll ask you a very simple question. If you go to McDonald's and you buy a 10 dirham burger, it just has a cheese and a cutlet. How many of us can make a better burger than that at home? Raise your hand. Yeah, but still we would love to go and buy from McDonald's, right? Because it's
Yes, that's the one.
right? Best known beats best. So even if you can make a better burger, you're still not McDonald's because you're not known as McDonald's, right? So let me ask you a question. What comes to mind? If I project this logo, what comes to mind? Burger? Fish fry. Okay, which company? McDonald's. Ferrari, Nazim's my favorite, Nazim. I didn't have to say anything. Just the logo said it all. Why? Brand. Just do it. Nike, just do it. It's a brand, right? So this is what you need to do for yourselves, right? When somebody says your name, what's the first perception you want them to have about you? So like somebody would say Nike, somebody would say just do it, right? Now we are not companies, so we can't have logos. What can we have for our brand? Can anyone tell me? So obviously we are not companies and we can't have logos for ourselves. What can we have for our brand? Your face value? As in the real?
No, not perception. The perception.
Perception.
Other person must look at you. Or
Right.
think of you.
Correct. So when somebody sees you, somebody thinks of you, what's the one thing you want them to think about? Can you write that down for me? The one thing that you want them to think about, the one thing that should come to their mind. So, for example, if I said Firoz. Oman. For me, obviously, what comes to my mind is Oman days, right? Because I know him for so many years.
Doesn't you giggle before that?
Huh?
You giggled away before saying that. What's the secret behind that?
Yes, exactly. That's right. Alright? So the same way I want you to write down something, one thing that you want people to think about when your name or your face comes up. What do you want to be perceived as? Right? Quick question. What do all these brands have in common?
Huge advertising budgets.
Logo, budgets. What else? Sorry, that thing. Huh?
Widespread recognition.
Recognition. Okay. Anything else? Image. All of this is actually, somebody said, it's perceived value. Right? It's the value that you would get from each of these brands. Okay, good. Alright. So identity and recognition. If I say Tesla, what comes to mind? Very good.
Gale
If I say BMW, who's the owner of BMW? Who's the owner of BMW? Like Elon Musk is the owner of Tesla. Who's the owner of BMW? No, the name of the person. This is the power of branding, right? If you're not going to brand yourself, nobody really knows who you are, right? So it's
Brand by itself, what to know?
so again, yeah. So again, you need to brand it. It depends on how you want to brand yourself also, right? Now Elon Musk obviously tags himself, so it's identity and recognition, right? So he tags his identity to the brand. Okay, good. So what I wanted to say is that when somebody recognizes you, it's more than just what you are, it's also the perception that you create around you. Okay? Now, we spoke about mindset, so the magic, all of you have a magic inside of you, and all of you are unique in some way or the other. So we are going to look for something that's going to make you unique. But before that, I want to quickly share the video, and then are we taking a quick 5-10 minute break later? I'll just quickly share the video. I'll just tell you what. I want you to see this video because it's really, really critical to this session. Okay? Does anyone know why lion is the king of the jungle? Why is lion the king of the jungle? Anyone?
Perceived to be powerful.
Perceived to be powerful, okay. Is he the fastest?
No.
Is he the biggest?
No.
Is he the mightiest?
Laziest, maybe.
How can he be the king of the jungle if he's not the biggest? The elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's cheap. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks much. An elephant thinks run. And it's a whole mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas. But I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality. What happens when you're in the cell and you're not being pushed? You're not being prodded. You're not given a reward. Nobody's encouraging you. What happens when you're a gazelle and the lion's not chasing anymore? You stop running. What happens when you're a lion? When you're a lion, it does not make a difference. You realize that if your family is going that if that pack of lions is to survive, then you gotta go hunt. A part of being a beast just ain't eating gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunt. It's the hunt that they're excited about. They like to see the gazelles run. The food, they take off. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love pride. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process. A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. They don't just live to catch it. It's the whole process. When you are a true hunter, you don't go by time. You go by the gazelle. When you are a true hunter, you hunt until you get a gazelle, and you don't stop until you get one. And then you get another, and then you get another, and you get another. If you don't do what you say you will do, be what you say you will be, you won't have to lie me out. You a gazelle, you will come up short. You a gazelle, you won't have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You try to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode. Nothing. Nothing impressive happened in gazelle mode. Nothing happened in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode. Nothing happened. Everything happened in lion mode like I'm coming to get you.
Okay. So
Amazing.
very quickly, I just wanted to write down your key takeaways. How are you going to apply this lion mentality in your current, whether it's your job, it's your business, it's your life, whatever it is, whichever part of your life you're in. How are you going to apply the lion mode in your current situation, wherever you are, right, in life? So if I'm an entrepreneur, I would answer that question as an entrepreneur. What would I do to go forward, to hunt, to get the achievements that I'm looking for? Right? So if my business wasn't good this year, am I just going to give up, or am I going to go forward and I'm going to put in extra effort next year? Like that. Okay? Quickly, if you can take 5 minutes and answer that question, then we'll take a short 5 minutes. Then I'll come back and I'll continue with something else that I need to teach you. Because from there on, after break, people start creating your story. Right? Your elevator pitch story. Based on everything that you go through. Okay? So it's all about applying the lion mentality in your life wherever you are, in your life, in your career, wherever you are. But the one thing that you can actually do to take your, let's say, career, your life, your future forward, anything that you think you can do. Where you're not giving up, where you're not scared. You know all of the gazelle qualities that we spoke about? We're going to overcome all of that. Any kind of fear that you have, how are you going to overcome that?
પતે આ ડિસ્કનેક્ટ થઈ જશે એ લોકો લાઈવ છે તો એ લોકો કન્ટિન્યુ બેટર બિકોઝ એ લોકો બધા ચાલી જશે જેટલા હુ આર પેઇંગ અટેન્શન ઓન લાઈન વિલ ગો અવે ઘણા લોકો છે જો એટલા લોકો છે
Now let's start crafting your story. Okay, your elevator pitch.
તો બે જણે thumbs up આપે છે કોણ આપ્યું thumbs up કોણ હાઉ ડુ યુ ગિવ thumbs up નો right now I want to fuck around.
Okay, elevator pitch. Selling yourself. In how many seconds? How many minutes? 40 seconds. Less. So generally they say elevator pitch should be no longer than 30 seconds. Right? Because that's how much time it takes to go up and down in an elevator. Maximum a minute. Maximum. Or sometimes even less. So if you're standing in a lift, if you're standing in an elevator next to somebody and somebody says, so what do you do? In that 30 seconds, how do you make an impression? That's an elevator pitch. Right? And if you start by saying, oh, I work for this bank, I'm the CEO, secretary, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, the person standing and going, okay, good for you. So really, could you make an impact on the person? Were you able to influence him towards you? No. So what can you say in 30 seconds? I will teach you that. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Alright. So this is what Jeff Bezos, he said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So I'm not going to make you do this exercise now, but later when you go home, especially people who are working, I would really want you to go and speak to people, somebody, one person who can give you an honest feedback and ask this question, that if I'm not in the room, what do people say about me? If you have family, ask your family. Like I would ask my husband, right? What do people say? More than my husband, I would ask my son. He's more honest, right? So I would ask. So do that. What will happen is, by answering, getting an answer to this question, it will tell you what your current brand is. If somebody says, when you're not in the room, people think you're too shy, you're too quiet, for example, And if that's not how you want to be perceived, then you want to change that. Right? If somebody says, well, people think you're borderline rude and aggressive because you're so loud. Like that's, when I did this exercise in Standard Channel, I found out that because I had a loud voice, people actually fathomed that I was borderline rude and arrogant because of my loud voice. Right? So I actually toned down my volume and my voice when I was in the bank because I didn't want to upset a lot of people. Right? If you like what you hear, good for you, grow the brand. If you don't like what you hear, change it. Because this is your brand. And if you're not liking it, then you want to change it to what you want people to perceive as. Okay? So this is an exercise for you to do later. But for now, you can answer this question for me. How do you think that the world and people around you see you at the moment? Like I know that people see me as arrogant, as rude because of my loud voice. It's just the way I am, right? So now I tell my husband, I'm not loud, I'm authoritative. When I talk to people, listen. He's like, yeah. You keep flattering yourself. But that makes me remarkable, so I talk about it, right?
You're just being a
So
wife,
it's the same
that's
thing.
all right.
Huh?
You're just being a wife, that's okay.
Right? So I want you to write down what do you think the world sees you as, what people around you see you as. Can you write that down for me? And then when you do the exercise, compare it to that and see, do the people see you as that or not? So if you think people see me as a very helpful person, but that's not the feedback you get, right? Like I always thought I was rude and arrogant, but when I spoke to my family, they said actually they highlighted that I was very resilient. So it was a complete shock for me because they said we see you as a very resilient person. So, you know, even if life knocks you down, you tend to pick yourself up. I've never seen myself in that light, right? Always saw myself as somebody who's loud, rude, arrogant. But then when I saw resilience, I said, okay, that's a good quality to have. So it's really nice to know what people perceive you as, okay? So write that down and then do that exercise to see whether it matches with what you think, okay? All right. Now I want you to write down this sentence, I love myself because. I want you to write that down. What about yourself do you love? So we already did one thing, identify one thing that people like about you, one thing, feedback that you will receive, and one thing you love about yourself. And I want you to write that sentence down. I love myself because, please write that down, it's really important. And I want each one, you all don't have to stand up, but I want each one of you to again share it. Okay? Because saying is easy, but to behave like a brand and just sharing it is the hard part, right? The challenge. So I want you to get comfortable talking about these things. I am remarkable because, I love myself because. I want you to say that, okay? Aloud. So who wants to start?
Prove that one's life before now.
This one. Okay? Also list one skill that you are best at doing. One skill that you are best at doing. Okay? Skill. Not personality, skill. And now I want each one to share, and I want you to start the statements by saying, I love myself because, and I want you to share that statement, okay? Everybody has to do it. All right. Who wants to start? Okay, let's give a big hand for starting. Very good. Awesome. Oh, no claps.
Hey.
Nobody likes you. Oh, okay.
I love myself because I never take any stress from work home.
Very good. Excellent. Family time. Super. Next.
I love myself because I think I'm quite confident.
Very good. Think. Or you are.
Yes, I am.
I love myself because I am confident. Can we learn to say that?
Yes.
Say it again. I love myself.
I love myself because I'm quite confident.
Quite no. I am
I am
confident.
confident.
Good. Excellent.
I love myself because.
Oh, okay. I'll come to you guys also.
No. I'm collecting information why
Okay.
I love myself because I can love myself more.
Very good. And that's a question my very small son asked me once, right? Mama, is it really bad to love yourself more than anyone else in the world? And I actually told him, I said, you know, I really think you should love yourself first before you love others. Right? So I really like that. I love myself because I love myself. Very good. Next. Not participating. Okay, you?
I love myself because I'm always, I think I'm the
I
best.
think no?
I'm the best in whatever I do.
Good.
I like that.
Very good. I am the best. Good. Next.
I love myself because I take care of people and I think a lot.
Okay, let's go to you guys. What is? Chalo, bolo.
I am the best because I am the best.
Go without saying.
Yeah, no, no, no.
You're live on TV right now.
Okay, I love myself because I am supportive.
Very good. Excellent. Next.
I love myself because I am God.
Good. Very good.
I love myself because I'm me. Unique.
Very good. Excellent.
I love myself because my best company is me.
Okay, good.
I love myself because I can be a positive influence on the people around me.
Very good.
I love myself because I do whatever way without any expectation.
Good.
I love myself because I know I'm giving 100% to whatever I do.
Very nice.
I love myself because people think I'm soft on the exterior and may not be able to, do something they think we won't be able to do, but I actually go and do it.
Good. Okay, so you're an extrovert.
That I second.
Save the best for last.
I love myself because I work hard towards my goal.
Very good. Okay, excellent. So we all love ourselves because we all have something unique about us, right? So it was important to know that. Now, how do you behave like a brand? So I want you to start putting down this, okay? First of all, it's your area of focus.
You forgot the last benchers.
Sorry?
You forgot to ask the last benchers.
Are they participating?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I want to know.
Okay, let's give a big hand to Parsi. Let's invite her.
I definitely love myself because I do not as much agree to the lion mentality, and it is my kindness that has helped me to achieve and a lot of things in life, and I am proud of it.
Okay,
So that's
so
what I love that about myself.
Good. So lion mentality is just about never giving up, never falling short in life, never comparing yourself to others and thinking, if I don't have, like he said, right? If I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, the lion can easily hide and say, I'm not the biggest, so I can be defeated. I'm not the strongest, I can be defeated. I'm not the fastest, I can be defeated, right? But nothing lets him defeat him in life. So I think that's the only thing. Okay, I want you to work with me on this one. Your area of focus, which is your avatar. Does everyone know what is the meaning of the word avatar? This is how you build your brand. So avatar is basically
Your image.
Yeah, your image. How do you want people to kind of not perceive you, but the image that you want to project? So I'll give you a simple example. Most of us, when we have children, we say, oh, we have to buy Pampers, right? But actually, it's diapers. Pampers is actually a brand, right? But it's so synonymous to diapers today that people have forgotten to use the word diapers. People only use the word Pampers. Yes or no? The minute the minute you think of children and you think of diapers, it's gone out of fashion. It's Pampers, right? It's that association with that brand. That's the kind of avatar you want to create for yourself, right? So an image that you want to associate with yourself. Can you write that down? What do you want to create as your avatar? And I'll teach you techniques and you can go and build your brand. So if you're in a job, if you're in a job market, you all can start building your brand, especially if you're in an organization looking for promotions. It's so important that you start building your brand because when the job comes up, you should be. So, for example, I was with Standard Chartered for 13 years. I had 6 promotions. Not a single job I went and applied for. Every time the bank came to me and said, we have the next job, we'd like you to take it up. We have the next job. And I moved from recruitment to banking, from banking to compliance, from compliance to training. I had no clue about compliance when I went into compliance. And I'm an expert compliance trainer today, not by any certification, not by any degrees, only by experience. Right? That's what branding is all about. You don't even need to aspire to get into that role as a promotion. Your organization should come and say, you've been identified for the role. That's the power of branding. Okay? So, identify your avatar, the image that you want to create for yourself, followed by your genius, something which is very, very, you're an expert in. Your genius is your expertise. Your core competency, your expertise. Jot that down for me, please. Because what happens is the more you discover yourself, the more authentic you are, the more genuine you are. And with authenticity it builds trust. right? People around you will start trusting you because they will see you for who you are. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the next thing. The next thing is something about your story that you are comfortable talking about and you would like to talk about to inspire others, right? So, like I was telling them, when I was in Standard Chartered, I was really, really proud of Standard Chartered. When I lost my job in 2018, I was made redundant. I was so embarrassed, it was against my ego that I was fired. So for many, many years, months actually, I went on telling people I stepped down from Standard Chartered. Right? Till one day my 13-year-old, he's 13 now, he was young, and he said, Mama, why do you like to people saying you stepped down when you were fired? Just tell people you're fired, what's wrong? And I thought to myself, yeah, what's wrong? If I can use that story to motivate people from where I was to where I am today, why should I lie? Why should I hide the fact that I was asked to leave? I was made redundant, right? So something about your story that you can talk about that would inspire people, that would impact and motivate people. Okay? Can you write that one thing down for me? Because you need to talk about it, right? You need to be comfortable talking about it. Then the next one is your ability to do something. So whether you want to write about it, you want to talk about it, you want to make a video about it, whatever. How are you going to make your story known to people? What ability do you own, or do you have, or do you like, to be able to spread that word? Okay? Because consistency is very important. You can't do it once. It has to be consistent for people to have a perception about you. If you do it once, it's forgotten. Yeah? Your strength. So, what makes you ready to fail? Because in life, there is no failure. It's only feedback. Right? Like after I lost my job in Standard Chartered, for many, many months, I was putting in applications on LinkedIn till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and not a single job interview. Not a single interview. And I was shocked because I was the regional head of learning. I was managing Africa and Middle East, 25 countries. And I was thinking, what's wrong with my CV? What's wrong with me? 13 years at the bank, regional head, not a single CV, not a single interview. Till my husband told me, maybe you want to start your own business, maybe you're made for bigger, better things. And I thought, yeah, that was life giving me a feedback. I didn't need another job. Right? I needed to do things differently. So it's always a feedback, it's never a failure. So your inner strength, something that picks you up and takes you to the next step. Can you write that down for me? Like for me, I found out it was resilience. Right? For you, it might be something else, like your go-getting attitude, whatever it is, yeah? Your mindset, whatever it is. Okay? The next thing is creating a positive impact, your ecosystem. Who is it that you want to inspire and impact around you? Now this is very, very important because they always say that you are an average of 5 people around you. Have you heard that? You are an average of 5 people around you. Which means if you have $1 million idea and you surround yourself with real failures in life who are like down there, they'll pull you down saying, what rubbish, this idea is never going to work in the market. Right? You have $1 million idea, you talk to a millionaire and say, this is my $1 million idea, what do you think? And he'll say, awesome, let's work on it. Right? So I want you to write down those 5 people, which is your inner circle. Okay? Doesn't have to be your husbands and wives, doesn't have to be your parents.
There you go, 4 of them out of the way.
See, the thing about your spouses and your parents is they love you so much and they will protect you so much, they will not allow you to fail. Right? Because we don't want to see our children failing. We don't want their hearts broken. We don't want them being upset. Right? So, for example, I'll give you my example again. If the minute I bounce across any business idea to my husband, he'll say, no, I don't think you should do it. It's too risky. No, I don't think you should do it. Too much money. No, I don't think you're not qualified for it. Right? So my husband is not a part of my inner circle. Because everything is a load of oil. My son is, he's only 13. But if I talk to my son and if I say, I'll give you a very simple example. I was in Saudi doing a training for ANB Bank, Arab National Bank, right? And it was a project I was doing for PwC. And from the bank, I had to give them the top 3 performers. Now I had a dilemma because I had 4 people in my mind and I didn't know who the 3rd person was. So I was really stressed and my son came and said, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm a little bit stressed. And he said, why? I said, I want to do justice to all 3. So I know the top 2. The 3rd one, I said, I'm struggling to pick one. So he told me, okay, tell me about each one of them. Without knowing them, right? So I told him, okay, this one's a guy, he did this is the Saudi industry. This was a girl, he's like, I'll pick the guy. And I said, why? And he said, because of 1, 2, 3. And right enough, when I picked the guy, I sent them my feedback to PwC, they said, spot on, because the same 3 people have been picked up by other trainers also. right? And he's only 13, right? But it doesn't mean that he doesn't have the sense, he can't guide you, he can't. So age is not a problem, relationship is not a problem. I need you to map the 5 people around you that make up your ecosystem. People who will really encourage you to fail also. Okay? And don't feel bad if it's not your spouse, don't feel bad if it's not your parents. It's okay. Because they love you so much, they won't allow you to grow and fail. That's the problem. Right? Jim Rohn says, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Right? It's so important to have that ecosystem. So map that for me. And the next thing is your future brand. What is it that you want to take your brand to next level? So you build the brand with me today. We have another 15-20 minutes to build the brand. And then what next? What after that? Right? So for me, I was a businesswoman. I wanted to become an entrepreneur, which means own more than one business. Once I reached there, I wanted to become an advisor to Fortune 500 decision makers and companies. Once I reached that, I wanted to become a keynote speaker. So every time I wanted to move forward in life, I branded myself that way, so that I could attract those opportunities. Make sense? So it's really, really important to understand what your future roadmap is going to look like. So at least identify 1 or 2 things in the future that you want to build your brand towards. Can you do that for me? Yeah? And what story would you want people to tell about you? So you telling your story is one, people telling your story is another. One is reality, one is perception. People tell your stories based on their perception, yes or no? So what is the kind of story you want to be associated with? Right? I want you to write that down. The last thing is your legacy, yeah? The gift that you want to leave to the world, for the world. What legacy do you want to build for yourself? You're going to be on the you can stop thinking about it. All of this goes towards building a brand, okay? So it's really, really important to nail these things out. And you don't have to do it now if you're struggling, do it later. Yeah. Right? Because everything you will put out on social media, especially if you're in the job market, will attract those opportunities for you. Yeah? Yes, because I was going to give a break, but he said people will log off, the online guys will log off and they won't come back. So Kalas, we are almost done. Okay, so alright, so we'll move to the last part, which is creating your elevator pitch. What I wanted to solve, there are 3 parts to an elevator pitch. The big problem that you solve, the solution that you offer, so all of you said I'm a problem solver, I can offer solutions, and the proof of it. How do you do it? Okay? There are 3 parts to an elevator pitch. No more than 30 seconds. Which means problem is 10 seconds, solution is 10 seconds, evidence is 10 seconds, literally. How do you do that in 30 seconds, anyone? No? Okay. So this is the formula, right? First of all, it should be no longer than 30-60 seconds. It should be clear, concise, and powerful. Speaks of the outcome and not the process. So when you say that I'm Firuzi, I work for Standard Chartered Bank, I've been in Dubai for 20 years, that's a process. And if I'm talking about the process, somebody who's listening will say, so what am I supposed to do with that information? What's in it for me? Right? So the formula is the different formula, which is what's in it for me. When a person is listening to you, what's in it for that person? And only if you mention an outcome, someone's listening to you. That's something for the other person to be interested in, right? Now, how do you do that? So it begins with the end in mind. So you can complete this set. I'll give you guidance to it. As a result of, so you can always start for the ones who are struggling. You can modify it later, okay? As a result of what I do, who I am, my passion, my interest, whatever. So you start with that. And then you talk about the result. I help people achieve or do X, Y, Z or whatever in the areas of X and Y. Alright? You don't need to talk. Nobody cares if you're Firuzi. Nobody cares if you've been in Dubai for 20 years. Nobody cares if you are an entrepreneur. Nobody cares about you if you are not going to give some value to the other person in the 60 seconds. The 30 seconds. Alright? So take some time. This is the last thing you'll do, last exercise. This is your elevator pitch. You can complete the sentence. As a result of who I am, what I do, as a result of my passion or my interest, whatever it is, okay? What is the one thing you help people with? That's the outcome. In the areas of X and Y. That's it. That's your elevator pitch. Now what happens is, you pique people's interest, and when you pique people's interest, they say, wow, how do you do that? Tell me more. Or, sorry, I didn't get your name. I am Firuzi. You are? Right? And that's how you started. These are also called conversation starters. The idea is for people to say, wow, that's amazing. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. That should be your objective. For the other person to ask you, tell me more. Okay? So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to come up with your elevator pitch. And then I want all of you to share and we close the session.
Can you go back one second?
Yeah, sure.
No.
This,
No, the next one.
this one? Oh, okay. Okay, so everyone, by the way, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is only a 0.0001 version. The more you will work on it, you have a version 1, version 2, version 3, till eventually you'll be so comfortable that it just becomes second nature to you. Anybody ask you, and this is the most important question in interviews also. If you start with that question for promotions when you go, right? If you start with what is the value you add to people, people are listening. It's the most, if there's nothing to take away from today's session, take away this elevator, which is the most important skill in life, in any walk of life. Yeah? Okay? Good. So I want all of you all to summarize your elevator pitch and share it with me. And the reason I get you to share is that I really want you all to be comfortable sharing, talking about it. Yeah?
We have one more session.
Huh?
No.
That's the last. Alright? WZcc, if you talk about WZcc, it's the what's in it for me factor. So if I'm listening to you and you're talking about an outcome, there's something in it for me, I'm listening. If you're talking about yourself, nothing in it for me, I'm not listening. Right? So I want all of you all to form up their image, okay? And share it with me. Can you do that?
Yeah, okay. I'm sitting down. Yeah, okay. Last month I had the same day where I was traveling in an elevator.
Oh, there you go.
And no, and somebody met me. I was carrying one of my products. And he saw me and says, where did you get it? I said, we are solution providers and we sell these items around. So by the time we reached 6th floor, he said, give me a card and I'll call you back. So
excellent.
Half the job was done. He's still not calling. But what I did was,
at least the interest was there.
at least the interest was there and I didn't get time to take his data. But here's my data. So
when you need to give it.
it's half done. Now, and I said, when I saw elevator pitch, I said, yes, we had this experience last time.
So notice he didn't say that I said I was Firoz and I'm doing this. He didn't. See, the thing is, the focus should not be on I, me and myself. The wording are very important. The minute your language, it's called hypnotic language, hypnotic commands, right? The minute you start using the word I, me and myself, the other person switches off because it's about you. It's not about me. It's about you. You're talking about yourself, so what's in it for me? Right? So avoid using the words I do this, I am Firuzi. Avoid using that. That's why I said as a start, as a result of, I'm not saying I am Firuzi and I help people. I'm saying as a result of my passion, I change people's lives. I help entrepreneurs build $1 million business. So whatever it is, right? I'm not saying I here. Okay? So that's how it works. Thank you so much for sharing that. Amazing. Next.
Madam.
He's still writing, I think.
As a result of branding company Keybox, I help people to market their brands and to make a promotion.
Very good, excellent. So I grow brands for people. So as much as possible make it concise. So rather than helping them, just say I help people grow their brands or I help people establish their brands, whatever it is. Yeah, amazing, excellent. Next, ideally I would add in the area of X and Y, but if you can, in the areas of X and Y. Do you want to go next?
As a result of being a recruiter with Marriott, I help people find their dream jobs and help them get their jobs.
Very good. As a recruiter, I help people find their dream jobs. Help him. He's looking for a job. Okay, next.
As a result of working in computers, I help companies and all to make mobile applications to solve their problems and make it easier going.
Very good. So I would say as a computer engineer, I would help companies make money through mobile apps. Who doesn't want to make money? Individuals want to make money, companies want to make money, right? So I would just fine tune it by saying, as a result of my computer engineering background, I help companies make money through mobile apps. right? So yeah, oh my God, I would say yeah, my company needs great money. Can you help me?
Also, we can't.
Yeah? So just fine tune it a little bit. Okay, good. Next. Yes, I know. Right. So, give me a statement rather than an explanation.
Sister.
A 30-second statement. So, okay. So, avoid process, focus on outcome. Right? So, rather than giving, the process needs to be brought in, like he rightly gave the example. The process will come in when the customer calls in and says, how do you do it? How can I get in touch with you? What do you do? Where are you located? That's when the process comes in. But immediately what did he do? He spoke about the outcome. Right? Focus only on the outcome. Cut down the process. It's easier. Okay? Alright, next.
As a result of being creative individual with passion for design, I help my clients develop fantastic buildings.
Develop?
Fantastic buildings.
Okay, good. Alright. A little bit long if you can cut it. Make it little concise.
After being in the market for too long, and basically I offer my services to the investors in putting a manufacturing plant and adopting doing technology transfers. And I just convince them that they can make money.
Good. Who doesn't want to make money? Next.
As a result of who I am, I like challenges and I want to learn, especially get into this market full of other young people who also want to learn and also want to make money as well. So I try like money will come, I guess, with this time, but I really like to learn because I'm going into a stream which is not something that I'm learning about right now.
Okay. So I'm going to stop you there. Can anyone give me a feedback on particularly his one? His elevator pitch? More than no, he said, as a result of where I am in my life right now, whatever he said, I like to learn. It's all about him. So if I'm listening to him, okay, you like to learn, you like to grow, you're looking for a job, so what should I do? So what? The question will not be tell me more. The question will be so what? Right? So again, avoid using I, me and myself, and the outcome of, as a result of your learning, what are you going to do for the others? Can you tell me that?
Give me some time.
Okay, take some time.
Cut short your
No problem, we all learn. We all learning. But I use that as an example because generally this is how we talk. Right? I like to do this, I love to do this, I am that. But ideally, it should be about the other person. And when you talk about the outcome, it automatically becomes about the other person. Make sense? Okay, very small shift, but big impact. Next.
As a result of my passion for good food, Havanu and Kavravanu, I cater. So I help people achieve, maybe throw good parties.
Enjoy themselves.
Enjoy themselves.
And live their lives. Live life king's hours.
Good food, good life.
Okay, excellent. Next.
As a result of being a wealth manager, I assist my clients in creating a legacy.
Wow, that's nice. Good, awesome. Next.
As a result of being a creative entrepreneur, I help people create livable and workable spaces.
Excellent. Yes. The younger man.
As a result of running a beer company, I help people to import and export their stuff.
Okay. Good. Is that a process or is that an outcome?
Outcome, I can help them for an import and export of their stuff. So
Okay. All right. If it's an outcome, it's fine. Next.
Well, I work for a multinational company which has offices in various parts of the world, and whenever they have a technical issue on one of their accessories or whatever it is, the first person that comes to mind
So elevator pitch.
contact Mr. So-and-so, and he'll probably be able to help you.
All right. So as a result of your technical knowledge, should we say you are the single point of contact for all technical issues?
Also
Solve
one
technical
issue.
issues. Okay. Next. Madam. You want to give it a shot? No. Okay. All right. So I guess we are done.
Backbenchers, please.
Sorry.
Backbenchers.
Oh, backbenchers. Yes, Percy. Okay.
So I help women to discover their own unique style and to stand out with confidence when they step out of their house. So in other words, I create designs and beautiful clothes. My passion is to create a financial value for the less fortunate women and to revive the old handicraft or craft.
So nice, excellent. Let's give her a big hand.
Hey!
Thank you so much. I just want to take on if there are any questions from anyone. No? In the short period of time, this is all I could do for today.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. What I would love to do is, if it's, I would love to do the things, I have a few more things which I'm not going to cover now because we are running out of time. But that's my LinkedIn logo. If you can share your experience and tag me, it would be really nice because that gives me an opportunity to help other people. So as a result of my passion, since I like to change lives, I would love to change more lives. And so if you can tag me and share your experience, that'd be great. But before that, before you break off, I just want to do a key takeaway. So one thing that you took away from today's session, either you learned, in our training world we call it the aha moment, right? Something that says, oh yeah, this is something I can do, oh yeah, this is something I always knew, I never did it, right? Something that you took away from today's session. No certificate. Each certificate. Give me the names and I'll give you the soft copy of the certificate. Okay, you start.
What's that? You're on the way.
It is all about making myself, putting myself in a place where people would consider me for my next role or for the next.
Nice. Okay, how would you do that? What is the one key takeaway from the session? What helps you with that? Yeah, okay. Okay. What about you? One key takeaway?
Is the main thing that's one thing that I can put that's.
Very important. And I'll give you my numbers here. Connect with me. If you're going for an interview, there are some other techniques also which I'll prepare you on. Right? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Between the two of them, how do you bridge that strategy? I'll prepare you.
You're going somewhere, Sajid? You're going somewhere?
Sorry? Live mentality. You like mentality? I love that video. Yes, sir. Awesome. Good. Self-discovery. Yes, Firoz. One thing you learned, or you took away, you're too.
I did learn marketing business. We learned quite a lot, and there are some things which we were not using, so it's a good refresher.
Sure. Very good. Yes.
I definitely think the elevator pitch.
Excellent. Good stuff. What about you?
The elevator pitch and the line.
Line. You should be good.
I think it's very refreshing. Take a look back at what you're doing in life and you run a good path.
Good. Okay. Something for you?
The lion mentality.
Yeah. That video always resonates with a lot of people. Something from you, sir?
Lion
mentality.
Something new.
There is line mentality and public speaking. My inhibition against public speaking, I could never speak.
Yeah. Nothing very difficult. It's just that fear that's holding you back.
Getting rid of few fears like speaking in public.
Good. Excellent. All right. I guess we are done now. Mazar, you want to close the session?
On behalf of WZcc-ME and all the members here, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you. So that's my number. I'm always on WhatsApp 24/7. Anybody, if you want to take your next step forward in your career, you're looking for a promotion or you're going for an interview, want to reach out, please feel free. Want me to help you build your brand, work with you on your brand, happy. All right. Anything for our community?
I would also just like to make one statement.
Sure.
I am Meher and I have my own branding company by the name of Boss. We are about 10 years in Dubai now, UAE now, and we do basically branding for promotional and corporate clients, and we have a couple of big MNCs who we deal to in Dubai. So if you need any branding requirements or any corporate requirements, you can get in touch with me.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody would like to introduce that?
I think I've already spoken about my passion for food and everything. But yeah, in Dubai we go by the name Barriers. That's our surname. Because we don't really have any help. Whatever catering we do from our little kitchen at home is the four of us, husband, wife, and the 2 kids. Not kids anymore, but yes.
Very good. Very
So, yeah, if you need anything, please get in touch with us.
Your number is in the directory.
Yes, Daddy boy.
Her number is in the
Daddy boy, I just can't get it.
The Batasan also.
She loves it.
Her number is in the Parsi directory for anyone who would like to get in touch with her.
Minimum order check?
Mayor's number is also in the Parsi directory.
Sometimes, yes.
I would like to say something through the agencies.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Day one, I spoke to Mayor before also. We need a B2B directory. Passive directory is not much useful. Business to business directory where lots of entrepreneurs and all can put one page ad, nothing else. Maybe a 200-page directory with one page for everybody. So if anybody wants something like insurance, insurance, okay, let me contact.
You might as well give business to our community.
See, that's why I said
Go outside.
because
Makes sense.
I am seeing a lot of other groups, last week I sent my son to one of the groups for it. They have morning breakfast, 7 o'clock in the morning. You pay 120 dirhams for a breakfast, go there and 30 people come and they have to introduce everybody and they have to help 2 people in one week.
BNI, you're talking about BNI.
That's right.
BNI.
So they do all that and they are spending 8,000-10,000 rupees. Our community can do much better.
Yeah, you have to pay money to be a member of BNI.
I know, but what I mean to say is that every time everybody says passive directory bana hai, that thing is no use. Nobody uses it.
But directory my information
Make it business to business. Day one I was telling her, business to business only. 1 page each. So you put your business, you put your business, you put your...
Yeah, that's a very good idea. But you see, everyone is not a business person.
No, not necessarily. So she has a private, she's not... She has a private, everybody has their own passion.
But also, see, a lot of the businesses, for example, our business, it's not official, it can't be legal. So when you're...
It's between our community, it's not going out, it's not going to the ministry to get a license about it.
But the WZcc, when we print out an ad for her, we are... No, WZcc is an international.
Yeah, but you can print it, it's not a problem.
It's not a problem for it, but WZcc has to allow us to do it.
Yeah, you have to tell them, for insurance, contact this, for tiffin, contact this, it's well done. Barriers, for barriers, anybody wanting passive food, contact barriers. Something like that. It's not a, what I mean is officially, it's not a business. It is. It's your passion. No, it's your passion. I have a passion for
selling a service.
नहीं Johnny आपका Oman business directory में name, telephone number, email ID and activities. बस खाली at the bottom there put activities.
That's already there in the website right now. And we have the opportunity for businesses to advertise in the directory.
Yeah, but what I mean is, see, there are individuals who want to do their passion. Like, he doesn't have a trade license, but he has a passion for something. Which people want his services, they call. But there's nothing like, hey, I am advertising to nobody. It's like our age. See, suppose I have a factory, we need some help. I call Sarah. If we need some help, he calls me. So it's basically B2B only, there's nothing else about it. Like, see, B2B is one thing that I will see lots of these groups coming up. Now, here is what I don't know how many chapters we have.
So many, and it's difficult to get it now. If you want to get it to buy something, clients get it. And
Yeah, and one of the CEOs called me. Now there's another only CEOs, only 20 CEOs. And he called me and said, Vinod, you want to join it? I said, I don't mind, but what about the fools? He said, only 30,000. I said, 30,000 for life or 30,000 per year? He says, no, because, and every month they are in a 5-star hotel, they are free, I can't afford all this. But what I mean is, if those people can do it and they are getting business. It's not that people are spending money and not getting business. It's like, I get lots of people sending me WhatsApp, I do savings, I do insurance, I do that. We can do it on this way.
Actually, also what had happened is my nephew for a short while was a part of my partnership in my cyber business, and when he did an online WZcc, I think when he did an online session for WZcc, a lot of people from US and all that dialed in, entrepreneurs, they actually reached out to us saying, oh, you're in cybersecurity, it's a need of the hour, can you please connect with us after the session because we can give you business rather than giving somebody else.
So like I said, B2B is more important.
I totally agree now where BNI is concerned, they meet a day every week. They're very diligent about it.
Yes.
Now for us to just get people together is
It's
what
such a problem.
That is why I'm saying the challenge is that, but when they see results coming out, like they see, arey, automatically people will come. And we are not asking them the sky. Okay? Our age, when 20 term, 30 term, nothing.
Also,
I
if
spend
you have
more
so many
petrol
youngsters, so we are
coming. So it's
looking
like
for
that.
opportunities, looking
So
for
the
better
main
prospects.
issue is not that. The
You
main
can
issue
help
is
each
yes,
other, no?
people
Recommend people to
will
others.
follow you once they see that results are coming. See, BNI, when they started, there was nobody. Now, because they are seeing the results, and I get lots of people sending me inquiries regularly from BNI members. Firoz, do you have this? No, I am not a BNI member, and I don't want to be, because it's like, I have to introduce two people, I have to go to 2A, I have to refer to A, and all these
What is
things.
it, Chapan? Maybe that's
No,
why I didn't
all these
identify.
things are put in and they give you a big chart at the end of the week where it shows this guy has done so many contacts. So when you see, you automatically, Hare Salah, Bhali Basta Kahin Nahi. So this
That's
also
what I'm
pushes.
saying, that it pushes you to do it, right?
So you-
And that's when
We have
only
to
you
do
see
that.
the results. So now, we, I think as a community, need to come together, saying that like rightfully now we know who, Uban is, maybe till now, some people didn't know.
Yeah, as I said, I know Uban and all,
Yeah.
but the problem is I never connected with her.
Correct.
Because what is happening is, I don't know what she goes. હવે supposedly આજે દાનની પોરી મુક્તિ મેં ખોદી ને પછી મેં હા ભગવાનની દાનની પોરી બની what I mean is connect. Hello, provided you get sample. I got a sample. No, what I mean is we need a platform where people can address them. Next time you have to bring sample.
Can I just say one thing on that?
Just wait.
It will be allowed me.
अच्छा, मेरे भी पास में और जो है तो वेट कर रहा हूँ.
So we would love that each
These 20
member,
people will now amplify the impact.
as
And
a
next time we get more.
can get something and come out. And even if you don't get something, see what you can give to the community. Once you start, BNI is nothing but about giving. It's when you give, is when you get back.
That is what I
So it's a
said.
referral.
That's what I said. See, here we have a referral thing only, and we don't need to make it a big deal. It can be a soft copy. You can send it to all the
Just be,
individuals.
now that's what, like she came here, she's in person, we know who she is now. So definitely, next time they want
See,
something.
over the
they
last
will.
2 years,
But that's the thing, because they're
COVID
talking
has
about
stopped
themselves.
a lot
I
of
do.
activity. Now, about a few months back, we started a coffee morning. I don't know if all of you all are aware of it. We have started a regular coffee morning, which happens we try to do it every month and a half to 2 months, so 6 to 8 weeks. We encourage you, it's free.
It's about
We meet at a Starbucks.
It is about.
Just come, grab a coffee, grab a water, don't grab anything. Come, sit, talk, meet people. When you meet people, when you introduce yourself, you will be exposed to new opportunities and people will also know who you are.
See, instead of going to Starbucks, you can always have anybody who is in Zareli office chair, Mari office chair. We can meet like that. So at least people. No, what I mean is you have a conference room.
It has to be out somewhere.
Out somewhere, see, as I said. Let me tell you, these chapter profiles are there, I agree. But they are for countries like India and where
yes.
તમારું બધું કરી શકો. અહીંયા તમે તેમ કરવા જશો, અહીંયા
If you, for example, I'm just giving you hypothetical situation.
Yeah,
Okay, if we advertise to you, you are giving a food service out. You know how stringent the rules are about doing. Exactly. So it's like, would you go and put an ad in Gulf News?
No, it's not an ad. What I meant was, you put in my passion for cooking. If you want contact, that's all.
But no, she is comfortable with that. The WZcc is not and it's selling beautiful.
Okay, chalo Jamba, there is some snacks here. We'll have some snacks.
I understand, but it's on a basis. It's not on
Listen to argument. Listen to argument. There are people here.
I was telling you the same thing. Abhi bata also.
Listen to controversies. Tenable, friendly.
हाँ, initially profit